Willie D Live.
What's up, family? Chud the Builder has awakened to bad news once again. Yeah, fam, old Chud has been having a rough time in life lately. Yeah, first he runs out on a food bill. He don't want to pay the food bill because he's Chud the Builder and he's privileged. So they haul him off into court. Next thing you know, he pulls out a gun and he shoots a man, a black man who he had dreamed of shooting. You know, that's his thing. He goes around instigating and trying to provoke black people into confrontations that could get them arrested or killed. And he almost succeeded with killing Joshua Fox, which is why he's still in jail right now, trying to get out. He's trying to get out. So that's one thing. And then he got other lawsuits and stuff. The dude is just an uncivilized mutt, a criminal who needs to be caged. But now he has another set of problems. He has a whole new set of problems. Chud is being sued by a man named, what is his name? Anthony Jordan. The allegations, malicious campaign, targeted harassment on social media causing severe emotional distress. So the question is, when will these uncivilized mutts learn? When will these uncivilized mutts learn that you ain't gonna be able to steamroll yourself over everybody? Look at that look on his face. You know, when you used to see him doing these live streams, trying to provoke people into confrontations, he would often have that old little shitty smirk on his face, right? That little smirk on his face where he walks around, I'm a white guy, nothing's going to happen to me, they're going to bow down. And so now it is said that Chud is chimping out. Chud has been chimping out lately, and he wants to get out of prison. He wants to get out of prison. You know, hopefully Chud's experience will serve as a reminder or just a lesson to the would-be streamers out there who do anything for clout. He lucky he didn't end up dead, because when you move the way he moved and you pronounce yourself the way that he did, your reputation precedes you. And so you're really walking into a booby trap, because people know who you are and know what you're going to do and what you're capable of doing, but you don't know who they are and what they're capable of doing. So you're at a major disadvantage. Had he ran into the right one, we'd be talking about him in past tense. He's lucky to be alive, because again, he often stated his intent. He jumped on live stream and said, I'm going to kill one of them and and this is what I'm going to do. And hey, I got my gun on me. You know, I got that fire, and yeah, well, come on, run up on me. Run up. You'll see. Yeah, I got it on me. I keep it on me. All of that type of stuff. So he's advertising. He's letting people know exactly who he is and what he's about. So if he had ran up on the wrong one, he definitely would have been put underground, you know, at the very least, on his mama porch. Some of y'all might know what that means. We can talk about that another day. But anyway, fam, yeah, this needs to serve as a lesson for any would-be streamers that it ain't always sweet out here. I mean, do y'all really care anything about y'all life or y'all freedom? Y'all like likes that much? You want attention that badly? This guy right here, anybody know who this guy is? Any clue as to who this guy right here is? This is Johnny Somali. Johnny built his brand on entering foreign nations, specifically Japan and South Korea, to stream himself harassing locals, trespassing, and vandalizing property. In April 2026, he was sentenced to 6 months in prison by a Seoul court for his offensive antics and public disruptions following multiple deportations and legal restrictions abroad. Now, he got off easy as far as I'm concerned, because those countries on that end, they're not playing. They don't really play games like that. So I'm surprised that he was able to get off with that slap on the wrist. What about this guy right here? Can anybody recognize this guy? This is a guy named Vitaly. He's a longtime prankster and kick streamer who shifted to aggressive vigilante-style predator catching. His confrontation tactics and escalating public disturbances led to multiple arrests, including several where he served time. Now he's serving a 9-month prison sentence in the Philippines in 2025 after a stream where he harassed locals and stole a security guard's motorcycle. Yeah, fam, he did that. And what about this guy? Look, I can go on, but what about this guy right here? This guy right here is one of the worst of the worst. Now, this is one of those stories you say, man, that didn't even have to happen. You know, this is crazy. So an online argument over a $1.50 Call of Duty wager escalated when the gamer Casey Viner threatened to swat Shane Gaskell. Acting tough, Gaskell gave Viner a fake home address. Viner contracted a serial hoaxer named Tyler Barris, who you see on the screen right there, to call the police with a fake hostage story, resulting in the police fatally shooting an innocent resident, Andrew Finch, at his door. So the consequences? Barris was sentenced to 20 years in federal prison, and Viner received 15 months. I ain't got no problem with that. They should have gave him the firing squad. That's right, I said it. See, we got to teach some hard lessons around here, fam. And you know what? I think if the lessons was taught actually more frequently, I think the judicial system has enough latitude to punish people severely if they wanted to. The problem is the inconsistency in the judicial system. It's the double standards. It's the two-tier justice system. It's the, what skin color are they, you know? What's the race? What's the religion? How much money they got? What's the gender? Sexual orientation? Religion? Is it high profile or not? You know, who's the lawyer? See, all of these things, there are too many variables when it comes to the U.S. judicial system. And this is why so many people think they can get away with stuff, especially when you talk about hate crimes. Hate crimes in this country are not punished severely or often enough. They're not consistent with them. One guy gets off scot-free. The next guy gets off with 2 years in prison. Another guy gets a life sentence. One guy gets executed. You know, all of these different variables. You do this, you get that. Like if we had a system like that, you do this, you get that. You do this, you get that. Now, obviously, you know, when you're talking about misdemeanor stuff, that's different. You know, like if we're gonna talk about like crimes that don't involve like human injury, that's different. I think you should have a little bit more flexibility for stuff like that. But I don't know. When you have these situations where people end up losing their life savings, that's different. And because some people jump off buildings when they work their whole life and then they get took for everything they have, you know? So how do you deal with something like that? But these streamers, They are going way too far. They've gone too far. And it's not just all on them. It's on the audience that they attract. See, we can talk about the streamers out here who are acting crazy, who are disrespectful, who are belligerent, who are ignorant, who are racist, who are an abomination. We can talk about all of that. But they wouldn't be doing that if they didn't have an audience. They wouldn't do it if they wasn't being rewarded. We are rewarding bad behavior all the way up to the highest office in the land. The president even gets rewarded for bad behavior. He gets on an interview during a press conference and he uses profanity. And what happens? The peanut gallery just laughs and they clap, and the wilder he is, the more uncouth he is, the more uncivilized he behaves. The animals love it. They just that's what they do. So we reward bad behavior in this country. Often we reward bad behavior. It's one thing not to reward bad behavior. Like if you decided, okay, so we're not put it like this. It's one thing to not punish bad behavior, but it's a whole other thing when you reward bad behavior. So we reward bad behavior in this country. I saw a video yesterday of Young Miami's producer. I forgot his name, but India Irie made some comments about Young Miami's song, Spin That, saying that the song was toxic and so on. So in response, Young Miami's producer remixed her song that India Irie thought was offensive with India Arie's song, the video song. And they were just laughing it up. And there were people in the comments, most people I think was like against it, but there were a number of people in the comments laughing it up and just thinking it was cool. Once again, young people not having any respect for their elders. Having a conversation about Young Miami's song we can go on and on about that song, but I'm just speaking about the respect component. When India Arie spoke about the song, she spoke in a respectful manner. She didn't say that, and she ain't calling no names. She was just saying that we need to raise our vibrations with our music. That's all she said, And I can relate to that because when we were making our music, some of the music that we was making was offensive to people, particularly Dionne Warwick and C. Dolores Tucker. C. Dolores Tucker, who is who was our elders. C. Dolores Tucker has passed now, R.I.P. But, we were young, wild, and doing our thing. And we was like, man, we're going to talk about this stuff, man. We don't care what nobody say, but we didn't go public and disparage them. We were just like, okay, they don't understand. They don't understand, right? But we didn't disrespect them. And there's a big difference, right? It's a big difference in respecting your elders, and taunting your elders, right? When they try to correct you. The trip part about it is they know that she's actually right, but this is the way that we oftentimes respond when people ideas, the words that come out of their mouth don't match our expectations. But this guy, Chud the Builder, has made my morning a little better already. I'm starting the morning off good. I feel good. I felt good already because I worked out last night before I went to sleep. I always feel better, wake up better, get a good night's sleep when I work out before I go to bed. But Got up this morning feeling good, feeling strong, feeling healthy. Then I got the news about Chud the Builder having a bad day. He getting sued again. So hopefully that money, when he gets sued, that judgment will drain any money that he got left over from his crowdfunding. That'll be a good thing. Chud will cry. He'll continue to chimp out. And, life will be good. But what say you, fam? Drop a comment. I'd love to hear your thoughts. No more talking.